So they actually go in, show you how they feed them, let you feed them. You get to sleep in one of the big tanks. You know, it's a pretty cool deal, I think, anyway. I'm excited about it anyway. But things like that, you know, things that, you know, hopefully they're rewards for these kids that have gone above and beyond. The other thing, and again, it has to go through council, and we're going to get pushback, we know, and we've talked about this. We're trying to institute a point system. There's certain events that are always required, you know, typically club things that you go and do that are required. So there'll be certain points for that. There'll be certain points for conference events, coming in and checking in, you know, and that should be done. Any TLT, if you're a TLT and you come to a conference event, you find the TLT registration table and you check in. That right there is your pass, that is your golden ticket. That tells you that, and typically what we've done is, like at the fair, we give you an armband that designates you as that TLT. Yeah, once you have that band, any TLT things that are done through that day, as long as they see that band, you're golden. We did have an issue at the drill down. We had a couple kids that, according to them, they turned paperwork in. We never got it. They weren't registered. They didn't have ARDMITs. So they weren't allowed to drill down. Again, it's another check for us to make sure that these kids, that, you know,
I'm gonna say something to the directors and coordinators that are here. I did something at the Renaissance Fair that I will not do again, and that was I had to go to my car and get something. I had to go get some wristbands. I'm not doing that again. So if they do not register, if the coordinators don't communicate that to the directors, to the lead mentors, to your TLTs, to register at all conference events, that's their responsibilities. They're not babies. If they're team leaders, obviously they have common sense there that you guys recommended them and we said okay to go up to a table and said, I'm so-and-so, shades, and I'm here to get their wristband, to check in if there's responsibilities that you guys allowed them to volunteer for, whatever the case may be, and they are events and they don't have a wristband, I will not stop an event. They will not participate. And you can holla! I don't care.
And it's not difficult. I mean, you do more as a director getting all your registration information and checking in for your club than they have to. They literally walk up, give them their name. If they're on their list, they get a wristband. That's as simple as it is. Mm-hmm. And again, that wristband is their golden ticket for any TLT events that day. Just a couple things. We're still working out the actual point values themselves, but holding a church office, participating in church services, conference events, obviously those are required. If you show up, you know, there's points there. Club stuff. Most of this we will keep track of, but there's certain things that obviously we're not with your clubs every time you meet. But participating in showing up to a camp out, that's assigned a point value. You know, if you, especially in your track, if you're doing your camping activities, you help, you know, plan the menu and go shopping with the staff that were doing it, there's point values assigned to that. This is going to do a couple things for us at the conference level. This is going to help us determine TLT of the year. You know, one of the factors will be this point scale. You know, even down to if you're in proper uniform, you're going to get points based on you are in uniform at an event, whatever it may be. You know, in proper uniform, you're going to get points assigned for that.
So the points being assigned are the points per TLT?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Every TLT, everything that a points can be assigned for is per TLT.
And can you just touch upon why we came up as a council, why we are
okay. Again, there's been a lot. We have seen that there's been a lot of favoritism, a lot of times that kids are put up for awards or honors that wouldn't necessarily deserve it, or stuff wasn't turned in and that kid would have gotten something and something didn't, you know, wasn't filed.
Right.
Again, this is another way to
be fair
and be subjective about the process.
And how
objective.
Objective
Objective about the process. not subjective. That's what we're trying to eliminate. Excuse me. We're trying to be objective about the process to help, again, better determine, you know, those individuals who have done what they needed to and should be recognized for it. And we don't. You know, this isn't like, you know, we're shaking our fingers at all the adults in the club.
Right, right.
But again, ultimately, in my mind, this is about the TLTs. And if we're doing this program, we need, as the adults in these positions, these leadership positions, we need to be given 110% to make sure that these TLTs are given the, you know, the full scope of everything that they're able to do.
I just want to say, for Explorers one year, I did something like this when James and I were both working at Beltsville, because we had a lot of explorers who had parents in leadership, and the consensus was I could never get an award because otherwise it would be viewed as favoritism. And I think having a transparent system like this helps negate some of that feeling of favoritism, whether it's there or not. It helps negate, and I think it will help with kids.
We you know, one of the things that Cheryl and I we talked about that you know, once this goes out for the council to start talking about it, because we're going to present this to council in November, Kevin, so we want your support, Corinne, Susan, and I have to, you know, we have to present it to my boss over here. That's awesome, so he can put it on his docket. And she has, you know, prepare yourself for pushback, because some of the directors may take it as in, you're taking our power away. We're not. We want to help. You know, we want to help you guys by helping you guys keep track, because some of the stuff we can't. We don't know what they're doing at your level, but at the conference events, we can help keep track of those things, you know, for you. And come time for you know, for it to be, because we have some directors saying, hey, how come I submitted my kid but he never wins, or why is it always the same, you know, kids or clubs or whatever, like, or
even to the fact that, well, that club is huge and they can do so much, we're a tiny club and we have no budget, I can't do this stuff. Exactly. So my kid can't, you know, you don't see what we've been doing. Again, hopefully this is going to negate a lot of that.
That's a good way of doing it, because as I said, I submit my TLT, and she never, I've been for 2 years, never won. So I'm saying, what's the criteria to win? So this would be a good thing to, for them to.
So, you know, and we want to, because when we talk to our TLTs, one of the things that they said, Miss Jenny, you know, can you do something about this unfairness? It's not fair. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it, And I'm like, Shirley, we gotta do something. It's not fair, you know. And I'm sitting there whining like a little girl. But, you know, I love our TLTs. I mean, and I know I'm not supposed to use the word my, but I love these kids, and I want to do whatever I can to, even if it's like, hey guys, we got a new point, the small thing, something like that to you guys, to them, it's going to be like, oh, yes, you know. And then when we ask them, hey, you want to come up and help us clear the new lands at, you know, CBR? Yes, Miss Jenny, we'll be there. Tell us when. We're there. You know, something so small like a point system, right, Shades? You're gonna come and help? Yes. You know, and we, like James says, we're doing it for our youth, and we do for them. They will do for us.
So at the conference level, I like the point system thing. To delineate this information to our TLTs about how and what and everything. I know in the manual we have all this information, and I love it because I can hand it to them and go through it and say, this is what we're going to be doing.
Sure. They know their expectations.
And they know what's expected of them. And for me, I want to make sure each one of my TLTs doesn't just have an electronic copy, but they have a hard copy that they can be able to go through and know what's expected of them. This point system, when it does go live, it's not live right now, correct?
No. I have to submit it to our boss, which is Dick right there.
Dick, okay.
And then our boss, then they'll take it to admin, and then admin will discuss, and then it's submitted, God willing, in November to
Okay.
the whole council,
Okay.
which is some of those people back there.
Right.
And then they'll sit there in a big forum and they'll discuss and tear it apart and build it up and tear it apart and all that good stuff. And once it goes live, God willing, then we will
We'll
make
disseminate that information
to
to you.
you guys.
Okay.
I will say, as I know, as when I was a director of Beltsville, I was one of like the administrative logistics type mentor for the kids that
Yes.
were there. And I keep saying kids, I shouldn't say kids, the youth that were there.
Thank you.
Sorry,
don't like
I
the
know,
word
I
kids.
know.
T in a word too.
Yeah.
The youth that were there, the TLTs that were there. I never got information. I never felt that anybody was telling us anything besides the manual.
Right.
That was it. Or we went to a conference event, there was an issue.
Right.
That's the only time I ever heard
Oh no,
about
I
any
put
of
everything on
TLTs.
Facebook, honey.
I mean, she's big with the Facebook. I'm bigger with the emails.
Between the two of us, you'll get everything.
Exactly.
Okay.
But yes, anything that changes, anything that gets updated, we're gonna have. And again, that's why I have the sign-up sheet.
Right.
Anybody who wants to be on it, get them in contact with us.
Right.
The TLT Facebook page, or
Yes,
even
you'll see. It'll always say breaking news, and I'll be like, TLTs, your directors just got, like the other day, it'll be the directors just got this email, and I will paste it there because the TLTs will know exactly what
Bless
you
you.
guys just got.
Okay.
Bless you. So you guys will know. Oh, Jenny said that we just got an email. Let me check.
And
Okay.
again,
And it'll be
if,
there.
if there's confusion, if there's clarification needed, anything like that, get a hold of one of us.
Please. We're available all the time.
I work a lot, but email,
After 7:30, his baby goes to sleep at 7. After 7:30.
it's usually the better time. But if it's after 9:30, I'm not going to answer you to the next day because I'm usually in bed. So just fair warning, late night stuff, I'm not going to answer.
I'm
but
good.
yeah, Jenny is
Jenny
definitely.
bugs me at work.
Yeah. But again, if there is something that's
Kevin, what are
needed,
you doing?
get a hold of one of us. If it's not something we can answer right then, we'll find out the answer and get back to you.
Okay.
We want this to be an open dialogue. If you're having issues, even down to, look, I know that we do this way, maybe a suggestion of, changing something.
Oh, please. We
Let
are
us know.
so
Now,
open for suggestions.
I'm just going to let,
Okay.
just because you suggested it doesn't mean it's going to happen. But we will certainly take it under consideration.
Okay.
I have a question
Sure.
regarding the point system. I know it's not running yet, but I don't know if this is going to be on a club level answer or not. So we present this point system, and a child registered. A teen registered for the TLT. Everything went through. You got the name, accepted, everything like that. But from then on, they did nothing throughout the year. Now we're at the end of the year. They have done nothing. They have not even get in touch with the mentor.
Sure.
Then
That's my
we
fault.
try. No,
Well,
okay. I was about to say.
Say even
and-
you've done. I know where you're going. So if they've done nothing, they get no points. And again, if they've done nothing, then that goes to these checklists, which Jenny was going to talk about, but since you
Right
brought
here.
that,
Right. Yeah.
these are
Evaluation.
evaluations that
Exactly.
you want copies of.
Yeah.
These are then the evaluations we do at conference level
Yep,
of the
yep.
kid.
Mhm.
Sorry, keep saying that. The TLT, the youth.
You gotta correct them.
I know.
TLTs, right?
We're all in training. Just
Yes,
exactly.
we're all learning
Um,
together. Thank you.
So if they do nothing and they get no points, which the points aren't the bigger thing for us, it's these.
Right.
Make sure that they're doing the program properly.
Right.
If these come back negative,
Uh-huh.
that year didn't happen.
Right.
So they have to start over again.
They'd have to start over.
Yeah.
Now again, that's going to make it tougher because now we know they didn't do anything. So we're going to be a little maybe watching
That's when that
TLT a little
recommendation
bit.
that comes up
And again,
again,
there
you
goes
might
your
not accept
recommendation
them.
again.
See-
And something may change, and they may the next year they could be your best TLT ever. But again, that's when these come in. Then.
And see, that's one of the things that we'll talk later.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yes, and I see where you're going with that. But again, then points aren't recorded, or they're going to be very low on the point scale, if anything. But the bigger thing is going to be these. These evaluations are not going to be good, and they may not again pass on to the next to the level 2 or 3 or whatever
Yeah.
they're next year maybe going into.
That's
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
So if they don't do anything and the reports are negative or lacking in anything, are they actually allowed to reapply the next year?
They can, but it would be up to the director and the
The
lead
lead
mentor to accept them or deny them. That's on them.
Yeah.
But on a conference level, are we?
Oh, then
are
we can actually say no.
I was going to say that what we've talked about is, say something comes back like that, we're going to flag that name.
Yeah,
So that next year, if that name comes back up again,
that means
we're
have to
really
have
going to
conversation.
scrutinize
Right.
that application, and there's going to be discussions between us and the lead mentor
And the TLT.
and the TLT.
Like, I will bring you. I'll be like, listen, we're going to have a meeting, and you have to have that TLT there, and Dick's coming with us. Because he's my boss. And we're going to have a little meeting and scare them straight.
No,
Yeah.
but the points though, they're just to help you in at the end of the year evaluation, or is that going to be like the only way to get TLT of the year type of thing?
This is also to make sure that they are meeting the requirements for the program.
Right.
So
They
Documentation.
will go hand in hand, because if they're
Yeah.
doing the stuff on here, they're going to be accruing the points.
exactly.
So it is going to help,
you can't do one without the other.
and it will be a immediate physical representation of how they're doing as far as the point system is. But again, the bigger thing is the awards and Pathfinder Year, whatever may be at the end of the year. For us anyway, that's going to be the bigger, more objective way.
And when
is the point
Sherilyn
system.
asks us, as of right now, the way they have it worked, hopefully it'll be a different. This will impress the Pathfinder admin team to reevaluate, boss, hint, hint, the process in picking TLT of the year and maybe Pathfinder of the year, maybe, and taking these and taking this because the directors still are the ones that submit for Pathfinder and TLT of the year in the current form. So maybe it'll be a great dialogue at the council meeting to talk about that and take these with the submitted names and see where they are, and then have a better understanding of the history of that TLT's past year, and a better understanding, and see where they, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
we're just not,
Yeah, it's not
right
just
now,
bogus,
frankly,
yeah.
the way that they have it, it sucks, to be honest. It's just that there's no other way to it's unfair.
Jenny,
Yes?
one of the issues with that is it's honors heavy.
It's what?
It's honors,
Honors
TLT
heavy.
of the year. It's honors heavy.
Yeah.
Or even the Pathfinder year.
Mhm.
Pathfinder does tons of honors. Boom, they got lots of points.